Let's talk a little bit about operant conditioning. Here we have the quadrants. The way I like to think about the quadrants is two batteries. If you look at a battery, any battery, AA, AAA, any battery has a negative and a positive. And these are, a plus and a minus, right? The negative, the minus, the positive is the plus. So if you look here, it's just a battery. That's the easiest way to think of the quadrants. Reinforcement would be one battery. Punishment would be another battery. So one common mistake that people make is they think, negative reinforcement and punishment, they're two, good versus evil. All it is behavior increases with reinforcement. With punishment, the behavior decreases. So behavior increases with either positive or negative reinforcement. Behavior decreases with either positive punishment or negative punishment. That is all it is. So with positive reinforcement, you're adding something. The plus, that's all it means. Positive reinforcement doesn't mean good reinforcement. Right? And here, another good point to make is the quadrants, these are just consequences. That's all it is, meaning a behavior has to be followed by one of these consequences for the behavior to either increase or decrease. It doesn't mean, positive reinforcement doesn't mean good reinforcement. Negative reinforcement doesn't mean bad reinforcement. And unfortunately, a lot of people look at it that way. Right? Like punishment is viewed as, all punishment is just horrible. All it means, it's a consequence that decreases behavior. There is positive punishment, negative punishment. Positive punishment, we're adding something as a consequence to make a behavior stop. With negative punishment, we are removing something to decrease that behavior, to make that behavior stop. That's all that is. Positive reinforcement, we're adding something to make the behavior increase. Negative reinforcement, we're subtracting something to make the behavior increase. So positive reinforcement, for example, plus food as an example, adding food. So if the behavior is followed by adding food, and this makes the dog go, I want more of that, then that's positive reinforcement. Negative reinforcement would come in the form of pressure. So if I use leash pressure to make the dog sit instead, then what happens is the pressure gets removed as a consequence for the dog sitting. If you think, well, negative reinforcement, you're adding something first. No. I added it prior to the behavior, so it wasn't a consequence. The consequence was the pressure being removed. Remember, the quadrants are consequences. Positive punishment, and I'm adding something to make the behavior stop. I'm adding some sort of pressure or, some sort of discomfort to make the dog go, I should probably not do this again. Negative punishment, I remove something pleasant to make the dog go, man, I lost out on this. I should probably not do that again. So it's about increasing behaviors and decreasing behaviors. That's all that is. The plus and the minus, they don't mean good or bad. It's not good versus evil.